Hey folks, PT here, Raven Ministries International Training Center here at Ground Zero for the Cooking Class 101. A lot of people think that we just teach them to read the Bible and to preach and to minister to the homeless. But one of the other things that we do, we teach them how to be good wives as well. You know, happy husband, happy belly, or whatever else it is. Anyway, today what we're going to do is I'm going to teach these girls how to make our famous Zuppa Toscana. Many of you folks have eaten it over at like the Olive Garden. And years ago, I used to go to the Olive Garden. Melly and I would go eat the soup and salad, and our favorite soup was always the Zuppa Toscana. It was good, but it was lacking something. And so I went home, this was way back when we were in Daytona, and started to formulate my own recipe for this. And so today, I'm going to teach them how to do it. That way, maybe I won't have to make it actually anymore. And so what we're going to use today, obviously I got 10 pounds of these beautiful russet potatoes. Okay, beep, 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 beep. See that? Russet potato is going to be your friend. Okay, so we're going to have all these nice little russet potatoes. Then we're going to use Italian sausage. So what I did, let me cut this open here, 1 second. I bought some, basically some Italian rope sausage here. So what we're going to end up doing, pull this open, we're going to take this sausage here, and we're going to end up cutting the casing off of it. Then we're going to cook that, and we're going to cook that in a pan to begin with, brown it. Then we're going to add that actually to our potato soup. And so the next thing we need, look at this big, gigantic, beautiful bag of kale. And so kale's going to go in there. That's going to be the last part of our recipe. The other things we need, we're going to use heavy whipping cream. We're going to make a gigantic batch of that. So here's our heavy whipping cream that we're going to use. And we're going to use our chicken bouillon. I like the base of my soup very, very rich. And so it'll be a lot richer and a lot creamier than you'd have with your at your Olive Garden. Then we're going to top that off with just a little bit of red pepper flakes. So here's all of our components: russet potatoes, kale, heavy whipping cream, chicken bouillon, and Italian sausage, and as well as a little red pepper flakes. And so we're going to get this stuff together, and we'll be right back on the next part of the video. Okay, as you can see here, B is actually pulling the sausage out of the casing. So once she does that, we're going to drop that in the frying pan, and we're going to brown that on the stove before we put it in the soup. Over here, Joanna is scrubbing on our potatoes. She is the potato scrubber. You ever been in the Navy? No? Okay, well this is kind of what they do. They peel and cook potatoes, I hear all the time. Anyway, she's peeling the potatoes. I mean, she's washing the potatoes. We'll bring them over after they're all washed, and we'll begin to cut those. I'm going to show you what Joanna's over here cutting the potatoes. I mean, she's over here cleaning the potatoes. So what's going to happen? We're going to take these 10 pounds of potatoes, and we're going to just coin them. So just like this, all the way down. And so we're going to take the 10 pounds of potatoes, just like that. Get them in the pan. Get them ready. Do it real quick. You can just don't cut yourself, because we're not liable for any injuries made while the filming of this instructional video. Okay. Well, there you go. Okay, kiddos. Here's what I'll do while they're prepping the sausage and the potatoes. What we're going to do is we're going to get this the boil ready. So what I have in this pot is I have 2 gallons of water in a big stock pot. So then what I'm going to do, the heavy whipping cream, like I said, I like mine very creamy. I like a good, rich stock. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these 2 quarts of heavy whipping cream. We're going to get them right in this water. Boom, boom, boom. Here it is. Then I'm going to take a chicken bouillon, and I'm going to take, here's a third cup scoop. So I'm going to take 2 1/3 scoops, and so that's 2/3 of a cup of chicken bouillon here. I'm going to stir this up, and I'm going to get it on the fire and start bringing this to a boil. We'll add the potatoes as soon as they're done. Okay, here one of my little helper people is over here. She is browning the sausage, and so as she browns that sausage, I've got the pot. I've added the heavy whipping cream, so we got it on the stove getting warm, and so she's going to begin to add the Italian sausage into the mix. Then once that comes to a boil, we're going to add the potatoes into there, and we're going to get this show rolling. Got another one of my little helper people here. She is cleaning the kale. We've got this beautiful, nice, green leafy kale. So she's going to go through and clean all these leaves and wash them in cold water. Then we're going to chop these things up, and these are going to go in the soup just the last probably 10 minutes of the cooking. We We got the pot, we got the 2 quarts of heavy whipping cream, we've got the chicken bouillon here, that's heated up, had it on the stove, and so we got 10 pounds of the coined russet potatoes. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all of these russet potatoes and we're going to lightly put them in to our stock base, just like this. If you hear me scream, it's because my hand actually was totally submerged in hot milk just now. Okay, so what I'm going to do, put the camera off for just a second. We're in the pot, ready to go. And so I'm just going to give it just a little quick stir right here to make sure all the potatoes and the sausage are all blended together. So what we're going to put that on, we're going to put that on high until that comes back to a boil. I'm going to cover it. Once it comes to a boil, I'm going to turn the heat down about midway, and we're going to let that sit there probably for about 40 minutes while the potatoes soften up. I got my little helper Visa right here with me. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut off the big ends of the kale, the heavy stalk, and we're just going to take this and we're just going to chop this kale right here. It don't have to be real small. And so we're going to take that whole bushel of kale, we're going to chop it up like this, and about 10 minutes before our potatoes are finished, we're going to drop that kale in there. So we're going to cut the big stalks off, and we're just going to chop that nice green leafy kale. That's the difference maker in this soup. Then we're going to drop all that beautiful kale into that pot and make for a luscious bowl of Zuppa Toscana. Okay, now we've got a beautiful pot of Zuppa Toscana. These potatoes have boiled down. They're nice and tender. We've got the great aroma coming in the air from the Italian sausage. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the kale, but first I'm going to take just some regular basic grated pepper flakes. And I'm just going to kind of color up the top just a little bit. You don't want too much. It kind of gives it a flavor. A little goes a long way. And so I'm just going to kind of get a smattering of the red pepper flakes on top. Then I'm going to take my kale, and I'm just going to take these big bunches of this beautiful green kale. Look at that. And I'm just going to stack that on top of my pot, just like this. Now mind you, I brought this to a boil. All the potatoes are already cooked. They're tender. So then all I'm going to do is take my spoon, and I'm just going to submerge that kale. Mind you, these leaves are very tender, very delicate, so it don't take a whole lot of cooking to it. So the heat that's already in the pot is going to take care of the cooking of that kale. It's going to soften that up. And what you're going to see, you can come in close. Look after that kale hits that warm stalk, that base. Look how it just turns green. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. So I'm just going to take that and I'm just going to look at it. I'm just going to fold it up in those potatoes. Get that all through there, because every time you get a spoon of this, what you want is you want to get plenty of that sausage. You want to get that kale. You want to get those potatoes. And most importantly, what you want to do is look at that broth. You want that rich broth. That's the difference between mine typically and what you'd get at an Olive Garden. Is my broth is going to be a lot richer, and you're going to have a whole lot more stuff in it. You know, me, when I go to Olive Garden, I get the all-you-can-eat soup, and it'd be like, that'd be a bowl of soup. I'm like, man, can you put some potatoes or some sausage in that? And so I'm just going to fold that up, just like that. Let that green be exposed. Cover that pot up just like that. And folks, we have a beautiful pot of Zuppa Toscana. In just a few minutes, we're going to have dinner and be spooning that out to folks. Thank you for tuning in.